Hi there. So I recently shared with you our last CSA haul of the summer, and now it's time to recap our experience. So let's get started. This was our first time doing a CSA share ever, and we had a really good experience overall. But I want to break it down into some of the things that we think they were exceptional and really great, and then just some of the things that were a little bit difficult for us. So number one, we worked with Three Goats Farm, which is a local farm here in Oregon City. We signed up with them through a CSA fair, and the whole process was super easy. We ended up paying about $350 for the half share, and what that really means is that we get enough veggies and fruits, depending on what they're having, what they're growing, for two to three people. And then you can also get the full share that feeds 4 to 6 people. Obviously, we have a small household, so the half share made sense for us. We paid around $350, and that had 20 weeks of produce. So every Wednesday we would pick up a bag full of produce, as you saw throughout the weeks. And we also added the pickling option. Adam loves pickle things, so I think he really enjoyed having a variety, and we still have a ton of those in the refrigerator. So it's gonna take us a while to finish them. Overall, the quality of the produce has been really great. I feel like there was never an issue with bugs or anything. The greens always came washed. When we actually visited the farm, they showed us how they wash all the greens and vegetables there, but of course we obviously wash them again at home. But the quality of the produce was always really, really great. Another really great thing about the CSA is that it gave us the opportunity to explore new veggies and other leafy greens that we had never had before. So that was really cool, because without this experience, I don't think we would have ever gone out of our way to look for these particular items. Some of these items I've never seen in stores, so that was kind of cool. So another cool thing that I found as being a CSA member was that our farm wanted to engage with the people that sign up for their CSA. They put together several events, like you saw my video when we went and toured the farm for the very first time. But throughout the summer, they had other activities like being able to go to the farm and do like a working party, or they had days where they would host picnics. And since they're close to the river, there was a day that you can like go have a picnic and then go hang out at the river. So I think that is a great way to build community. So that was also another thing that I really enjoy that came with, being part of the CSA, being a member. Another thing that I thought was really interesting is that they would try to give you a heads up on Monday or Tuesday with an email of a list of the items that you were going to be getting on Wednesday. In some cases, they also share recipes there, or they had like a little bit more information about certain vegetables that you may not be familiar with. So that was always really cool. For us overall, like I mentioned, it was a really good experience. We got to introduce new veggies into our lifestyle. We got to have fresh produce. We're helping support a local farm. We know where our food's coming from, and you're obviously supporting the local economy. So all those things are great. I think the only downside of this for us was really trying to figure out how to cook with certain ingredients that we were not familiar with. Even though they had suggested recipes, sometimes it was harder for us to follow a recipe that maybe it wasn't something that we were gonna eat, or in general, just the amount of things you saw sometimes that we would get a bag of greens and we already had one that we had not finished the previous week. We obviously try to make an effort to consume as much as we could, but unfortunately there were items that had to go to compost because it went bad, because we just couldn't get to them. So that was kind of the downside of things. I think now having this experience, I think we definitely think that if we do it again in the future, we probably would plan a little bit better or try to sign up for a CSA that we're more familiar with what they're actually giving you. So if you're considering signing up for a CSA or it's something that you are curious about, I would suggest for you to do your research, because CSAs do vary not only of the size of the share, the cost, but how much are you gonna be getting, as well as how long the membership lasts. So that's something that I would recommend looking at and just figuring out what makes sense for you and your family. Also, something to consider is, do you have enough room to store what you're getting? For us, sometimes our refrigerator was super full that we actually had to use the kegerator to store some extra things just because we didn't have enough room. So that is something for you to consider, because you don't want to be wasting the veggies or fruit that you're getting. And then last but not least, just really doing your research on the cost. What makes sense for you and your budget? There are CSAs that could be very pricey and very affordable, but just take a look at what everybody's offering, and there's something out there for your budget. You just need to do a little bit more research. So my final thoughts. Overall, we had a fantastic experience. I know I already said that several times, but it was really good. And we are going to be looking into signing up for another CSA next year. It may or may not be with Three Goats Farm. They were great. We really, really like them, but there's so many other farms in our area that we really want to just kind of take a look at what's out there and maybe sign up for a fruit CSA, or even do something in the fall. There are a few CSAs that are in the fall, and some of them also even sell mushrooms, and which Adam really, really likes. So there's just so many options. So for us, it's definitely a yes and thumbs up for CSAs, and it's something that we are going to be exploring in the future. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.